Welcome to the Bronx Queens Bros podcast, better known as the BQB podcast. I'm Big V, looking uglier as ever wearing this Yankee hat. We got Big D and we got Jack B. Dave, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I kind of feel like I want to wear a Yankees hat. You guys are making it look so good, especially you, Big V. Like, is it a good morning, good afternoon, or good night? I don't know, but I know someone who's having a good time right now. Jack, how you doing?
V, I love the style. You're looking great. Can't wait to talk some Yankees and Mets this episode. Maybe I was a little bit rough on some of the over-unders, so maybe I can catch up there. We'll see what Dave has in store for later in the episode. We got some nice series to recap. We actually have our power rankings. Me and V are going to have a little bit of a debate, our top 10 power rankings in the MLB, and some news around baseball that we'll get to shortly. But first, V, take it away.
Well, we all know that this episode is sponsored by one of the best kept secrets in northern New Jersey. Engineering Design Concepts, a small company doing big things. They specialize in product development, manufacturing, and test equipment. If you or anyone you know need assistance in that field, they are the company you need to contact. The link to their website will be in the description below. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a Mets fan, you got to be thrilled that you took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers this past few days. Great series win. Monday night comes out, David Peterson versus Dustin May. Danny Burgers with a 2-run shot. Big Danny Burgers just doing what he does best. You know what? Opposite field home run too. Kind of took me by surprise. But I said last episode I needed Vogel back. I needed McNeil to do better in the series, and both had a good series. So that was great. Great series win. Mets ended up having a nice little offensive onslaught there. Ended up winning the game 8-6. Peterson didn't look that good, but the bullpen looked pretty good. So that was good to see. Tuesday night, Kershaw was vintage Kershaw. He owns the Mets in his entire career. It was, as a Mets fan, it's tough to say, but he looked awesome. Really good to see Kershaw look like that. It's baseball's better when Kershaw is dominant, and he looked every bit of dominant that night. And then yesterday, we all probably heard about the Max Scherzer start. Max Scherzer versus Noah Syndergaard. Super excited to watch that game. And then Max Scherzer gets taken out after 3 innings, quote-unquote, cheating, sticky substances. We're going to get into that debate and talk that whole conversation a little bit. But the Mets actually end up pulling this game out. Nimmo had a 5-for-5 day. Hell of a start for Brandon Nimmo. The guy's batting like 350. Shit ton of walks, stealing some bases, playing borderline Gold Glove defense. He's looking like every bit of penny that the Mets spent on him, which is great to see. Canna had a big 2-run double late in the game as well. That was nice to see. Marte didn't look too good in the series. He has some neck soreness still from that previous series where he had a bad slide into third. So I don't know how much he's going to be playing in the upcoming series. But all in all, I guess you can't complain too much. Beatty only got 1 hit, but he was hitting the ball pretty well, I like to say. It was a good series win. Just, we'll talk more about it in a little bit.
Sure, so let's get into the Yanks real quick. V, nothing really to add, besides I definitely want to get into that Scherzer debate in a bit. But, let's start with the Yanks a little bit. So the game you guys went to, I never really had a chance to talk to you guys. I'm sure maybe we'll get into it a little bit. But my boy Clark Schmidt disappointed. I had a couple hot takes about him, and I don't know why I had those takes. I kind of was just feeling a little excited. I don't know.
Hey, Jack, you want to know what those takes were? Continue.
Thanks for that, V. Ohtani took him deep in the first, just a classic Ohtani swing. He just loves hitting at Yankee Stadium. Maybe something for the future, but Yankees ended up losing 5-2. Then yesterday we have a nice Yankees 3-2 win on a walk-off sac fly by Glaber. Brito pitched well. Bullpen held their own. Did blow it a little bit. Peralta blew the game a little bit at the end, but then Glaber came through, walked it off for us. Our first walk-off win of the season. Today, great outing from Nestor. I think it's his 16th straight outing with allowing 3 runs or less. Super great by that. Rizzo staying hot, 3 hits. Peraza 2 RBIs, Trevi 3 RBIs. Great to see the young guys play. We had a Volpe Peraza middle infield today. Super exciting. I really like that. The defense was really good by Volpe the entire series, and he was swiping bags. So, yeah, another Yankees series win, right, Dave? Never lost a series this season.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Well, I'm glad that the Yankees, won another series. But can I tell you something, Jack? I didn't get a chance to tell you. I'm going to tell all the listeners here, too. Dave is an absolute idiot, by the way, guys. Big D takes us to the downtown train from Port Authority. We end up missing the first inning. So the whole reason I go to this game is to watch Shohei Ohtani, right? I missed his fucking home run because this dope over here decides to get on the wrong train. And, it's ridiculous. I don't know who said this guy goes, oh, yeah, I've been here before. I got this. Don't worry about it. What a dope. I just wanted to say that out loud.
Yeah, I did it intentionally because I didn't want to hear you just gloat about Otani being a Met. No, the whole time I was trying to enjoy a game. But honestly, you didn't take away from my enjoyment at all. The Yankees product on the field and watching IKF in center and Hicks in left as we were sitting in left center field wasn't great. Quick couple notes on this Yankees series, Jack. Very interesting strategy by Boone on yesterday's game in the bottom of the ninth to pinch hit IKF with 2 outs. Don't love to see that. And then today's game, speaking of IKF, looked solid in the outfield. You definitely can't get wrong. Can't go wrong with him defensively. So
yeah,
yeah,
and 2 RBIs, I believe, too.
Yeah, he had a good game. And we did watch him get a hit. We saw him get a hit.
Yeah,
and it definitely wasn't like a rocket or anything, but it found the outfield grass. So there you go.
That's baseball, Dave. That's
baseball.
He proceeded to get picked off, but yeah.
He did get picked off immediately after.
I forgot about that.
Oh boy. All right, fellas, you got some around the news. There's a lot of around the league news. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I feel like this past couple of days. You guys want to break some of it down?
Yeah, let's just get right into the Scherzer interesting fiasco. V, you want to break it down, kind of?
Yeah, so I'll quickly just recap what had kind of happened in case anybody didn't see it. So Max Scherzer, it was after the second inning, I believe, or going into the third inning. They Phil Cuzzi, who we'll get into Phil Cuzzi in about a minute, as a moron. He grabbed Scherzer's glove, put his hand in it, and said it was too sticky. His hands were too sticky or something. So they made Scherzer wear a different glove. But so whatever. Scherzer ended up pitching a 1-2-3 inning, and then Scherzer comes back out in the bottom of the fourth, about to pitch the fourth inning. And he had proceeded to just wash his hands with alcohol in front of an MLB official using the new glove. He put on rosin in front of the MLB official, went out to the field. Phil Cuzzi feels up his hands again, says it's too sticky, and proceeds to eject Max Scherzer. And as we just found out, he just received a 10-game suspension. Now let me tell you some facts here. Phil Cuzzi is the only umpire to ever eject anybody, any starting pitcher, any pitcher, due to sticky substances. There's been 3 occurrences. They've all included Phil Cuzzi. I don't know what's going on. Max Scherzer is a guy who actually claimed that he never used sticky substances. And I'm also on the side that I'm going to believe Max Scherzer because, if he's saying he washed his hands in front of an MLB official, all this stuff, and he put on the rosin in front of him, I get it. Maybe it was sticky, but, he used a legal substance that MLB provides that pitchers can use. So I don't know what the problem is. I think the umpires got this wrong. Scherzer's not appealing to suspension because he said he doesn't want to go through the process of dealing with all that. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't read too much about that yet. Just kind of got in here and I read that report. I don't know. This was something. What do you think, Jack?
Well, what I do know is that all the Mets fans that chirp about Garrett Cole cheating, I need them to stop. Please never speak about any sticky substance ever again. Okay? Number 2, Phil Cuzzy. You are right. He has ejected the 3 guys. He's been the only one to eject people for the sticky substances. It sounds so weird to say, but he did say after the game, and so did crew chief Dan Bellino. He said it was the stickiest hand he's ever felt, and that's a very weird sentence to say. But that's what he did say. He said, so what I'm thinking happened is he removes the sticky stuff with the alcohol, right? And then the alcohol was probably still on his hand, and then he went to put the rosin in again, making it almost even more sticky. I don't think he did it on purpose, obviously. I think Max is not one to be like a cheater or anything, but I don't know. He seemed adamant that he didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. But this is how it is now. It's very discretionary, very up to the umps to just decide, what's too sticky, what's not too sticky. So, and you could tell he was sweating, right? It's not like it was a
It's LA.
shiny ears
It's hot.
situation. His whole head was sweating, right? So
Yeah.
it didn't look like sunscreen. It just looked, his head was dripping sweat. You could tell when just watching the game. So yeah, kind of peculiar, but yeah, that's tough though. He's gonna miss his next start. So
Two starts?
well, yeah, 2. What do you think? Verlander back in that time?
No.
No.
I think Verlander's maybe they're saying Verlander early May. So
Yeah,
maybe
that's what they're saying
similar.
with Rodon too.
So I mean, it's tough because the Mets rotation is extremely thin. Carrasco has an elbow inflammation. He has like bone spurs in his elbow, so he's not throwing for like 2 weeks.
Jeez.
So he might be out for at least a month, and he wasn't pitching good beforehand.
Hey, but you guys are treading water. Like you can't be too upset because there's some teams right now that are just that like have a lot of hype. There's teams like the Astros, the Padres, even the Dodgers that they're spending a lot of money and they don't look so good right now.
I'll be brutally honest. I can't complain what the play the Mets have been playing at. They just beat the Padres. They just beat the Dodgers, and they swept the Athletics. They did exactly what a good baseball team's got to do. They won the series against good teams, and they destroyed the team that they should destroy. And this is with like maybe 2 starters. They called up Jose Budo, Joey Lucchesi starting tomorrow. I don't know who's gonna start. Maybe Madison Bumgarner. Maybe I'm just saying. We're gonna get into him in about a second. I don't know. The rotation's very thin now that Max Scherzer's, but the bullpen's been nails for the Mets, which is the only reason why they've been in every single ball game. Their bullpen has been dominant, and I love it. I'm glad it's been happening.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Mets are treading water. They're doing well. Dave, anything to add on Scherzer before we move to Mad Bum?
Yeah, I got a couple takeaways. So my first thought when just like I didn't watch the game or anything, but my first thought when hearing the story is like, I would like to think Max wouldn't do that intentionally, but if the rules are just what they are and he didn't abide by them, like, yeah, he should be ejected from the game. But then the whole thought came to what even are the rules, right? It's so like you said, subjective. And if this Phil Cuzzy guy is the only one, like, and then what makes it different from what happened with Domingo Herman? Like, how do we as fans and as viewers of the MLB know what the true difference was? Like, why wasn't Scherzer allowed to go back in and wash his hands or do something different to stay in the game, whereas Herman got that opportunity? Also, it was interesting because they looked at Scherzer's spin rates throughout the games. Like, they never changed. Nothing happened with that. So clearly he wasn't doing it to gain a competitive advantage. And when I watched the game, I know you said it, V, like you were excited for that pitching matchup. It's like the NFL with quarterbacks and adjusting all these rules to protect the quarterback. It's like you want to watch these star pitchers pitch. Let them pitch. I don't know. I think they need to tighten up. They need some like concrete regulations on what's allowed and what's not allowed. That's my takeaway.
I think a simple solution to all this is forget about all the rosin, the pine tar, the spider tack. If the ball was just sticky a little bit, none of this would be an issue.
Japan does it right. They have a natural stickiness substance on the balls out of the wrapper.
Yeah.
So they don't need rosin. They don't need nothing. The ball has so they're the same everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. No matter what place they're playing in Japan, it's the same fucking ball. Why can't MLB, like, I don't fucking understand. How do they not know how to get this right? And it's just causing so much stupid controversy for literally nothing. I know I'm getting a little passionate because it's the Mets, but like there's so many cases where it's going one way or the other, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
And it makes sense, V, while you're upset, because what did the division come down to last year? It was a couple of games here and there, right? So
one
probably
fucking game.
one game. So, you have this rough patch now. Your best pitcher, when your other, three best after that are all injured, your best pitcher is now going to miss 2 starts because of kind of some, an umpire's opinion. And another thing I don't really understand, and about Domingo too, is if you check and it's sticky enough where you're like, wash your hand, then why isn't he ejected right there? Why are you saying, like, go wash your hand? Like, one time it's okay, but the second time, then you're done? Like, what? Shouldn't it just be one time? If it's sticky, you're done, like, by the
I
rule?
I also don't understand is like Max Scherzer even said it. He goes, "I'd be an absolute idiot if I tried to put something sticky after they just checked something on my hands just an
Yeah.
inning prior.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. I think he was within following the rules, and like you said, I think he was just sweating so much. It was hot in L.A.
Yeah,
But like in my opinion, that's just circumstantial. Like I don't know. I'm gonna get too
whatever.
heated. Whatever.
Let's go on to Mad Bum. So Madison Bumgarner, 3-time World Series champ. He won World Series MVP. One of the best postseason pitchers, pretty much of all time, was DFA'd today by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Kind of shocking news. So Mad Bum pitched in 4 games this year. He has a 10.26 ERA. Kind of, just super. He didn't have a great year last year or really the year before, but yeah. What do we feel about this?
I mean, listen, this guy's he's still relatively young, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you have this, if you could pull that up while I keep talking, because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he's still low to mid 30s. I couldn't be wrong, but I'm almost certain that's
Yeah,
right.
he's 33. He's not young, but yeah, he's up there.
He's not that like I think he's still got more in the tank. I think honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if a team like the Mets or the Yankees right now would take a chance on Mad Bum. The Mets actually came out with the report saying they're going to do their homework on Madison Bumgarner. They don't see any imminent option. But you know what? We're going to need someone to make 2 starts for us in the next week or two. And we don't really got anyone in the minors ready to go. And we got a shit ton of injuries. I wouldn't be surprised if they just, hey, let's see if we can just get this guy, maybe new stadium, new pitching coach, maybe get him 5 innings where he could kind of pitch okay. Maybe he's going to get hit around again. I don't freaking know. But, like, I say it's worth taking a chance on. But I think he could be a guy who you could turn into a really dominant reliever, in my opinion, I think
Yeah.
that's something that a team should really look into because he's going to be getting paid now the league minimum by whoever picks him up. And I would be very comfortable having Madison Bumgarner probably as like a 7-inning guy, maybe come in and he could just air it out instead of like he doesn't throw as hard anymore. If he could air it out for 1 inning, I think he'd be very dominant.
Yeah, I think you make good points. You've seen what some pitching coaches can do when they get their hands on a lefty like that. We saw with Andrew Heaney and the Dodgers last year, who was just a mess with the Yankees the year prior. So, yeah, things like this happen where pitchers kind of go through this rough stretch. Just reading the stats a little bit. So he's really not been himself since 2019, where he posted a 3.9, which isn't even that great, but that was like his last decent season. 2020 pitched to like a 6.5, but it was a shortened season. And then 2021, 4.7, 2022, 4.9, and then this year with only 4 starts, he just didn't have it. And it's clear, he's just the velocity's not there. His location hasn't been there. So, yeah, maybe he can find a new opportunity and make something of it.
I don't know. Where do you think he ends up? Who do you think picks him up?
I think the Mets should. I mean, I don't know. You'd almost rather at least give him a shot, sign him to a minor league deal, and then it is what it is, than like rush up some, double A pitcher that, you don't want to rock their confidence, right? You have all these programs set up. So I don't know. I think even just for 2 starts, like you said. And then if he's bad, then just cut him, And Steve doesn't care about $1 million, So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Dave,
I
where do
don't
you
know.
think he ends up?
I hope he ends up in the Mets, V, just for you, and just because I want you. Even though it would be a minor league deal or something minimal, I just want you to take out the money guns again. That's all I want. Speaking of money guns, real quick. Hey, the A's getting out of town, huh? Heading to Vegas,
Yeah.
leaving Oakland. It seemed like a move that was bound to happen, but they're ready. I think everyone's ready for them to go.
Yeah, I knew it was bad in Oakland. Obviously, it's been bad for really the last like 20 years, but especially this year when the SNY broadcast you saw this, could not be in their normal spot because there was a possum literally just like crawling around in whatever they call it, the broadcast room. Like, are you kidding me? It made me think back to the Moneyball movie when all the snacks in the vending machine you had to pay for, and like they just their clubhouse was a joke. It's just it's really unfortunate because it's a really beautiful city over there and a large opportunity for a team in California, but it's just unfortunate. And hopefully Vegas can provide some better opportunities for a team that's just been a laughing stock the last 5 years.
So I'm gonna jump in here real quick because listen, I've been to Vegas already 3 times in my life. Super excited to see what can happen for a Las Vegas baseball team. I'll be going real quick. I'll tell you that, guys, right now. I feel like they could do some sick ass gambling type of like arena where it's like betting every fucking place in that arena. I think it looks so cool. I think it'd be literally the coolest thing ever. Very cool concept. I just hope that somehow different owners are in charge because
No, he's not going to sell.
but like
Next
then
time.
why are you moving to Vegas? You got to spend so much money in Vegas. I don't even
No.
get it.
So they don't own the stadium. The city does.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I assume they're going to try to do something similar. But you do make a good point. There's a lot of opportunities in Vegas for like gambling, and that's what the Raiders did. They moved too, and the Raiders had a similar thing where they were at the A Stadium for a while, like they were sharing, then they got their own, and then that was a mess. I don't think they own that either. I think it has a lot to do with the economy in Oakland and the mayor and just like the government there is like apparently not great with, you know, I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, anything is better than this, right? I mean, Jesus
Oh yeah.
Christ,
I
freaking
mean,
possum! Imagine with Gary and Ron trying to call the game. There's a possum crawling like behind them. Jesus.
all I know is I think we might have a few more people in our stands at our slow pitch softball games than they do at their stadium. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. That's all I'm
your
saying.
fans are boycotting. I mean, that's just so sad.
I think
Now,
we should
can you guys?
all.
I was gonna say, can you imagine Shohei Otani going to Las Vegas though?
That'd be something.
That would be something. But you know where he's
Very
gonna go? He's
interesting.
gonna come to New York, baby. He coming to the Queens. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that. There was reports that the Angels might trade him if they are not in contention by the deadline.
I mean, that would be the smart thing to do because it's
Yeah.
just you gotta get something for him, and I obviously he won't. I think if he's traded, the team, unless the team knows that they're going to re-sign him, he's not going to go for as much as people think. Just because if you give up the farm for 2-3 months of Otani, then what good is
What's the
that?
point?
Unless
Yeah,
you win, I guess. But I think they would need a commitment that he's going to resign. So
I
if they get
agree.
that, I think he can go for a king's ransom. And the Angels need to just get better bullpen, like the shortstop. They've been running out. He's a minor leaguer. He just got called up. Oh, Hoppy got hurt today in the Yankee game. He looked like he, just messed up his shoulder. They're just really thin at a lot of positions, and their bullpen's been a wreck for the last 4 or 5 years. So they got a lot of holes.
Too many to count.
All right. I
Um,
love talking. You got a point, Jack?
One more thing. Watch out for Seattle in the Shohei Otani sweepstakes. Ichiro played there. Shohei loves Ichiro. Ichiro is very involved in the organization still. And I could just see it. I don't know why. They have a lot of money. That owner's really, really, really wealthy. And he's been trying to throw these crazy, they made that splash deal for Luis Castillo. I can see Seattle getting into this thing. Don't just think it's LA and New York.
Very interesting. I guess I'm curious to see how it all plays out. Love when you guys talk Mets and Yankees, but it's also fun to take a trip around the league. And let's continue kind of just talking about the league as a whole. You guys prepared some power rankings for the fans today. We're a couple weeks into the season. I feel like it's a good time. It's better than ever. So let's get right into it. V, I already feel bad for you wearing a Yankees hat, so I feel like you should go first. Let's keep up with it. Why don't you give us our list and kind of give some comments about it?
All right, I'm gonna quickly go. I'm gonna go from 10 to 1. All right.
Perfect.
So in 10 spot we got the Arizona Diamondbacks, 9 the Baltimore Orioles, 8 Toronto Blue Jays, 7 the Yankees, 6 the Mets, 5 the Pirates, 4 Texas Rangers, 3 Milwaukee Brewers, 2 Atlanta Braves, number 1 Tampa Bay Rays.
Wow, so you did this completely different than me, V. You did it a lot based on the first, games, where I did it a lot based on where I'm projecting these teams are going to be.
Well, this is only the first power rank. We're going to be doing more.
No, I know. But, okay, we'll get into it. Do you want to talk about yours, or should I give mine?
Before you go into yours, do you have any quick takeaways from V's list?
Quick takeaways: 9 and 10, I believe, in Arizona and Baltimore, not on my list at all.
Okay.
I love how you had to put the Mets one spot above the Yankees. Very funny. I did something similar on my list, but the other way around.
Go for it.
Yeah, one thing about the Tampa Bay Rays, V. Okay, and I'm tired of this. I know they have the best record by far. Their run differentials through the roof. I wrote it down. They're leading in home runs, hits, average slugging, OPS plus, and they have the best ERA, least amount of hits. They're the best team by far this season. They've played the Tigers, the Nationals, the A's, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays lost 2 out of 3 to them, and then lost 1 out of 3 to the Reds. So, we just got to put things into perspective here. This might be it's got to be the easiest schedule in baseball. And I know you can only play the teams on your schedule. Yes. But, I'm not taking the Rays. If the playoffs were to start today, I'm not taking the Rays to beat the Blue Jays or the Yankees or Houston or, I'm just not.
All I can say, though, is that they are completely beating up on every team that they should. And they're off to a very historically good start.
Guess who else was off to a historical start last year? The Yanks. And then what happened?
And they fell off, and that's fine. But for the first round of power rankings, they got to be at the top of my list.
No.
What do you mean, no?
They're just – I don't think they're the best team in the MLB right now. I just don't.
All I can say is wins talk, and they're winning. Okay. I don't care who they're beating. They're winning. It's a game of baseball. Well, crazier things can happen.
Let me ask you, V, to kind of piggyback. And I'm not saying I agree with you or Jack, but let's say the Rays are facing any other team you listed on that list. You think they can beat all those teams?
I think the Rays have one of the best starting rotations. I think they could definitely.
What about Houston? You didn't even have Houston on your list.
They're off to a horrible start. Have you seen them play?
Yeah, but I mean, the last 4 or 5 years they've been a powerhouse.
That's fine. They can maybe make my next power ranking when they start playing better. They're playing like shit. Okay. They're not winning. They're not winning. They're not doing baseball. They're not winning. If they're not winning, they ain't making the power rankings. I don't care if they should win. What? I don't tell you. I don't think.
All right. It's fair enough.
Well, Jack, there's a lot of disagreement, which I love to see, and it's great that you got the opportunity to make your own list. So why don't we hear what you prepared for us? Give us Jack B's top 10.
Sure. My top 10. Number 10, the Texas Rangers. Number 9, the Tampa Bay Rays.
9. Wow.
Number 8, Toronto Blue Jays. We agree on this one, V.
There we go.
Number 7, Milwaukee Brewers. Number 6, Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 5, New York Mets. Number 4, New York Yankees. Number 3, San Diego Padres. Number 2, Atlanta Braves. And number 1, Houston Astros.
They're not even 500, dude.
I know. They have the best roster in the MLB.
I can argue. I don't think their starting rotation is deep enough.
Framber Valdez.
Okay.
Have you seen him this season?
I have.
Okay.
That's one pitcher.
Okay, Javier.
2.
Okay, Lance McCullers.
If he stays healthy. That guy hasn't stayed healthy in like 3 years.
All right. Luis Garcia. I mean, they have guys. Your Quiddy.
I don't think
Hunter
they have
Brown.
the depth. I don't think they have the depth. I truly don't. I think their offense is fantastic. I don't think they have the depth. Kyle Tucker. That's a low.
Kyle Tucker's going off. I mean, Jose Abreu has been shaky. They don't have Altuve. I mean, Bregman's been horrible. They're gonna heat up. Like you
it's bound to happen. That's fine, but I can't give them a spot in the power ranking when they haven't performed to what they should. I mean,
what I'm thinking is it's the same team as last year, pretty much, minus Verlander plus Jose Abreu. So I don't know. That to me, they're just it's a little bit like you're sleeping. Like you just won the World Series. It's a bit of a hangover right now, but they're still the best team in baseball. I think they have the best lineup in the AL when healthy. Braves at number 2. I think they have the best lineup in the NL.
Yeah, we agreed there. I have Braves at 2 as well.
Padres, they're also starting off slow. You didn't have the Padres, right?
I didn't have the Padres either. I don't.
Okay. Soto started super slow after hitting like 700 in spring training and like tearing up the WBC. So that's kind of weird. And then Xander's been outstanding for them. What they lack is pitching, right? So maybe Bumgarner could be a good fit there, but I don't know. They're too talented to not be on my list. Okay. And then, of course, I got to do Yankees, Mets, Dodgers. They're still the Dodgers. I mean, I know they're a little bit rough around the edges, but they're still the Los Angeles Dodgers. They still have Freddie Freeman. They still have Mookie Betts. They still have a nasty pitching staff and bullpen. They're going to be there at the end. Brewers have been outstanding this year, plus 35 run differential, second best ERA in baseball. Yankees also third best ERA in baseball. And the Mets, this shocked me, V. They've allowed the third most home runs in baseball. Isn't that interesting?
It is. But I feel like a lot of it's actually been mainly like solo shots.
Yeah, because they have not, I don't even think they're top 15 in most runs allowed. So, and I think the Rangers are a super interesting team where their lineup is so dynamic, and they're a plus 43 in run differential, which is better than the Yankees, Mets, better than a lot of these teams on the list. Besides I think they're second to the Rays, and they're second in runs scored. So if they can figure out the pitching staff, I know Jacob deGrom's been good, but then he left last game with an injury, right? So. John Gray. If they could figure out the pitching staff, I think and the bullpen too, Rangers will be a really, really good team.
Yeah, I think the Rangers have a lot of potential. I got them pretty high on my list. I got them in the 4th spot.
See, how do you have the Pirates? The Pirates aren't making the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're off.
You put the Pirates on your list?
Yeah, come on, dude.
Got the Pirates in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th spot.
Wow.
That's crazy.
They're off to a 13-7 start.
Okay,
you gotta respect it.
But you gotta use like a little bit of like forecasting here.
Yeah, you think the Pirates are beating again? You think they're beating the teams right below?
Hold up. I'm not forecasting shit. This is my power rankings today.
Okay, but everyone could read the standings. That's what I'm saying. The power rankings. We're just kind
I'll
of
tell you this though. I think the Pirates sneakily have a very young, talented team.
yeah. No,
Are they ready? No. I don't think they're going to be there at the end. But I'll tell you this: they got a lot of potential, and if a lot of these guys keep performing the way they keep going, maybe one or two trade deadline moves, they could possibly sneak in. I'm not saying they're gonna, but
I'm with you there though. They're not that bad.
no.
They would be on my tier of like they're not that bad. Another super interesting team that we really haven't talked about that much, but the Chicago Cubs are a super interesting team. They're kind of good. They're kind of good.
It's a
How
little
do you feel
weird.
about the Cubs?
So Marcus Stroman, I'm not a big fan of that dude anymore,
Me
but
either.
kind of too much of a talker. Anyways, he's off to a fantastic start. Can't knock him. He's performing. He's pitching fucking phenomenally. And then Cody Bellinger just remembered how to hit again.
Yeah, dude. He had another home run today.
Dude, this guy, he's looking like his MVP form. Out of nowhere. Literally out of nowhere, which is great to see. I'm glad that that's happening. Maybe he needed a change of scenery. I don't know. So, I don't know if the Cubs can last. I don't know. But they look pretty freaking good, I got to say.
Yeah.
I got to say. They're a fun team right now.
Yeah, Suzuki looks good. Dansby looks good at shortstop. Patrick Wisdom is hitting the cover off the ball right now. And it's just such a nice little
And they
atmosphere
don't.
there in
I
Chicago.
don't even think they have Seiya Suzuki back yet.
He played. He's playing today.
He's playing today. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a good little player too.
Yeah.
All right. Any other takeaways from each other's lists before we
All right.
move
I
on?
guess the next power rankings we do, I'll forecast a little bit better before you guys keep fucking yelling at me.
Well, all right. Let's. I'm curious about this. Let's kind of state your philosophy when creating this power ranking list. So, V, why don't you start? What was kind of your philosophy?
My whole philosophy on a power rankings is which team is winning right now.
But is it which team can beat the teams below it?
A little bit.
So you think...
I literally just did it like who I think the best teams in baseball are. Just like not really taking record into it. I was taking a lot of like run differential. I was taking a lot of like, larger scale stats, not really looking at wins and losses per se. And then looking at like roster, stuff like that.
See, the way I view the power rankings is who in the league are like the top 15 best records. That's where I'm picking the list from. And then out of those 15 teams, I'm going to pick the 10 that I like the most and which ones I think are on fire in that moment.
Yeah, I think you definitely can't like ignore wins, but you also have to take some context of the rosters and everything. But in my mind,
I can't take the Astros at 1 when they don't even they're not even 500. I just can't. I'm sorry.
I think they're the best team in baseball.
That's fine. Maybe they will be. But they're not right now. That's why.
Yeah. My point is, I guess you do have a point where yes, you have to look at record. I'm not 20 games into the year. 50 games into the year, yes. Like maybe in a month, definitely look at record. But 20 games, I'm not reading too much into the record at this point. That's just me. And I know the Mets fans may be a little bit more concerned about getting off to a hot start. I understand, V. We got it. Next power rankings we do, definitely I will incorporate more of a record-based list.
And I will actually look more into the way you're thinking. We'll kind of get a nice little mesh together.
Look at how listening to each other and understanding each other helps us come a long way. But I would go ahead and say don't do that. Just make your lists the way you want to make them, and it creates a great conversation. And at the end of the day, guess what? It's Big V's top 10. It ain't Jack B's top 10. And then it's Jack B's top 10. It ain't Big V's top 10. And it certainly is not Big D's top 10. So I'm curious to see how, your philosophies will change as we go along. So we'll keep doing more of these, and we'll see how they shift as we move along the season. You guys ready for some Big D's Big Odds?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Nice clap, V. So I'm going to throw the results up on the screen for those of you who are watching the podcast, but we're going to quickly recap. It's V's redemption week, and he got off to a great start. So he nailed the Mets under. Only 3 players hit for over 300 with a minimum of 4 at-bats. He nailed Clark Schmidt's over on earned runs. Clark Schmidt gave up 4. Both the fellas here did not get the Brett Beatty line correct. Brett Beatty only got 1 hit this series. That's okay. He's getting there. He'll be fine. We all are still hopeful on Brett Beatty. And then Big V nailed the over on Rizzo's total bases. He finished with 9 on the series. And then you guys both, because you both believe in me, and you were right too, because I'm phenomenal at what I do. You guys both nailed the under on my variance. I was only off by 3 on all 4 lines, and that's only Rizzo's total bases. So go me. Jack, you have a lot of ground to make up. So actually what I'm going to do, and I will say, these lines this episode are very simple. They're pretty simple. Not much creative, kind of just cut and dry is what it is. And V, I'm actually going to make you answer all of them first. Because
I like that.
why not? But I will throw you a bone. We'll go all Mets, and then we'll do some Yankees at the end. Okay. V, Mets got a 4-game series coming up against the Giants.
Yep.
I'm going to set an over-underline on the Mets wins this series at 2.5.
Oh, that's a good line, dude, because you know what? 4-game series is hard to win. Split it. I can fairly be certain the Mets will at least split the series, but I mean, they're starting Joey Lucchesi tomorrow. I don't even know who the hell they're starting Friday. Oh no, that might be McGill. Might be the last game. Peterson, Casey. Oh boy, this is You know what? Fuck it. Take the over.
All right.
Yeah, this is the easy under for me. I mean, the Mets are reeling right now with these injuries, and they're facing a lot of former teammates, V. Darren Ruff, Michael Conforto, some Mets legends.
It's the San Francisco Mets.
A little bit. What's his name?
J.D.
J.D.
Davis.
Davis.
Wilmer Flores.
Wilmer Flores. So.
All those players back when the Mets were good, you know.
Revenge. Darren Ruff legacy game.
All right.
Oh, Darren Ruff is hitting 2 home runs in the series. I promise you that.
So Jack is rooting a little extra for the Mets to lose this upcoming series because he could use the help on that line. And real quick, the next one is not an over and under line. You have 2 choices and you need to pick one. Similar concept to an over and under. I think you guys will be able to grasp it. Who is going to have more strikeouts? Kodai Senga or Tyler McGill?
What if they end in a tie? Is it a breakout even?
The point goes to Jack in that case. No, I'm kidding. If it ends in a tie, I guess it'll break. We just won't count it. And then if the overall game ends in a tie, we'll do some trivia or some something along that line. So we'll stay tuned. Okay. But if it ties, we'll not count it.
I'm gonna go with Ghost. Oh, I'm gonna go with the Ghost Forkballer, Kodai Senga.
Dave, I'd be a fool not to go with my boy Tyler. Let's go.
Well, Jack's just gonna go against me on all these because he's just gonna hope someone wins.
Yep. That's why you're going first. All right, Yankees have a 3-game series. One I'm excited about against the Blue Jays coming up here. V, you're still answering even though it's a Yankees question. Yankees wins 1.5 over or under.
I don't even know the pitching matchups. Cole pitch?
Cole Manoah Saturday. I will be there.
Really?
I will be there. Yes.
You're going?
Oh.
Yes.
Attaboy.
I need some videos.
Take the uptown train. Take the uptown train.
Little early birthday extravaganza.
Heck yeah! Happy birthday, Jack.
Birthday's coming up, right?
Coming up.
It's on the 27th, 5th. It's close. I was close.
So close.
I'm a great co-host, guys. I promise.
Great co-host and even better friend.
Okay. We're gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna take the over because let's see if he can do.
Yeah,
Let's see
I
if he
was
can go
just gonna
against me.
say, make him pick under on Yankees wins against the Blue Jays.
Wait, Dave, is this the last one here?
No, we got five. We got five.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I'm going over. I mean, we're not losing any
Okay.
type of series anytime soon.
Big brain power. I'm outsmarting everybody now.
All right. This is another choice. Hits on the series: Aaron Judge or Aaron Hicks, IKF, and Oswaldo Cabrera combined.
Holy shit! Is Donaldson coming back yet?
I think maybe Bader, maybe Bader too.
For the series?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
I can't bet again. I can't bet against three guys. I'm taking the jack-offs of the jack-offs here. I'm going to take the IKFs, the Hicks, and the Oswaldos.
That's tough, man. Jeez. I guess I'm just gonna have to go Aaron Judge. He's kind of not looked great in the last couple of series, but I'm just gonna blindly go with Aaron here, trying to get some points back.
I need to see Jack in a Mets hat again.
It's going to come down to it. All right, last one. Another choice. We're going with a theme this week. Who is going to have a lower team ERA this upcoming series? The Mets or the Yankees?
I'm putting such a pickle here.
I think it would be real fun if you picked the Mets.
Yeah, it would be, right? Team ERA, so like bullpen and starters combined?
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Mets. I think they're in a pitcher-friendly ballpark, and I know they're scrambling for pitchers, but their bullpen's been nails, and I don't think the Giants are off to a slow start. I don't think the offense is going to click that much, so I'm going to go with the Mets. And the Blue Jays but the Mets do have one more game,
I was gonna say that.
so I don't know if that's going to come back to hurt us or help us. So, but the
Yeah.
Blue Jays offense is very potent. So,
True. So you're going Mets?
yep.
It's weird coming from a guy in a Yankees hat.
Yeah, right. Jeez. I think I'm gonna have to go Yanks here.
I think
Shocker,
so.
but I'm going Yanks. I think. I don't know. I'm just going against V, so
Yeah.
not that smart, but you know what? It is what it is.
Jack, do you honestly do you think the Yankees have a chance of having a lower ERA?
I do because Cole's pitching. I worry because the Blue Jays just historically smack Cole around last couple of years, but Cole's looks so good, and I don't think Clark Schmidt is going to pitch this series, so we might be in decent hands.
He's not pitching the last game?
Might be who's pitching tomorrow? That's the real question.
It's Herman, Cole, and Schmidt.
Oh no, it is Schmidt. I forgot
that Mets hat
Burrito. I forgot
right.
about Burrito. Lord.
All right. Well, hey, we'll stay tuned. It's going to be an interesting one. Jack's got an uphill climb, but we'll see if he can do it. Hey, quick minute each thoughts on the upcoming series: Mets versus Giants. Big V. What are you looking at? What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see who can step up in the rotation. Like we need Senga to be, honestly, the next like 2 or 3 starts. He's got to be the ace of the staff. He's got to go 6+ innings. He's got to be nails. I need Tyler McGill to step up and keep doing what he's been doing. He didn't have a great start against the Dodgers, but you know what? He kept them in the game, even though he didn't have his best stuff. That's good to see. And we'll have to see Lucchese's pitching. He's got the churve. He's got a pitch that we don't even know what it is. and I don't know who else is pitching. So maybe Madison Bumgarner. I don't know who's pitching, but someone's going to be pitching. Maybe Peterson. If Peterson's pitching, I would love to see him step up and have a good start. He has not had a good start, and when all these starters come back, if Peterson doesn't pick it up, I think Tyler McGill gets the spot in the rotation and not Peterson. So we need Peterson to really step up.
Jack, Yankees, Blue Jays. What are you looking at? What are you excited for?
Dude. Yankees, Blue Jays. I'm pumped up. I'm looking for maybe some more Volpe, Peraza middle infield. I'm looking for Glaber to maybe get some hits. He's in like an 0 for 24, something like that. He's been struggling. I don't know if you guys peeped what Giancarlo said. I think he got interviewed by the New York Post or something, but he basically said the fact that he keeps getting injured is inexcusable. He was like super hard on himself. I was shocked. And he said like, I need to be healthy. I need to start changing like either my diet or like my workout routine. I thought that was like super like refreshing to hear coming from him, who's just been like historically hurt for us. Maybe Harrison Bader, maybe I don't even know, but maybe the Bringer will make a sighting on Saturday. That would be elite. Yeah, let's go Yanks, baby.
Heck yeah. Hey, Big V, what are you shaking your head no at?
The Yanks.
Oh, all right. Yeah, naturally. Little indicative from your hat. But anyway, they can find us on Instagram, V.
Yeah, think about us on Instagram at BQB Podcast. We're posting reels. We're doing our thing.
And Jack posting talks on the daily. They can find us where?
BQB on the talk.
And we are also on Twitter, so join the conversation there at BQB Podcast. You guys can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Google, and just a million different other places. So if you like us, give us a listen and tell your next door neighbor. I think they'll like us too, especially if they're Yankees or Mets fan. But even if not, tell them. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next time.